that's that's not appropriate. That's not the way it works. And so that's why he's genuinely shocked. They already have Wesley. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough of a kid.
Oh. But I just love how he like scoffs at her. He's like,
"Oh yeah."
What?
I said it when it's great, man. All this stuff is great.
So then we go back to sickbay. Picard enters to check up on Garrett. He gives her a status report on her ship, and they kind of talk, and then she basically forces him to tell her what's going on, and because she's noticed how like advanced their sickbay is, and that their uniforms are weird and all this stuff, and so he has to inform her that she is 22 years in the future. Well, 22 years, 3 months, and 4 days in the future. She said they were answering a distress call from a Klingon outpost on Narendra 3, and the Romulans were attacking it, and they, kind of got caught in that firefight and everything, and then they ended up there, where they are now. So Picard, is kind of like, well, if you had succeeded in that, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation, but, whatever.
Nice job, female captain.
This Picard might have been like that.
I bet she would have been.
Oh, God. I don't like this Picard. I like the other one.
He doesn't stick around. It's okay. Calm down. Okay. So we go back to Enterprise C. Tasha and Richard are figuring out tactical. He worries about not seeing his family again, and she tries to reassure them. Maybe they're still alive, and he says, "Oh well, what if I don't recognize them?" and all this kind of thing. And it's
he's pretty sharp, isn't he? He's a real sharp person. Like, my whole family, everybody's dead in 22 years. Every person.
Yeah.
My nephews, everyone's dead. I'm the only one left.
My family's very sickly. They don't do well.
It's like, everyone in my family only lives to be 50 years old.
It's like, dude, it's 22 years, not 2,000 years. I'm sure somebody's alive.
Oh, hilarious.
This is the future. We have advanced medical stuff. I'm sure they're okay.
They're probably fine.
Yeah.
His wife's probably married to someone on the Enterprise D. She's probably on the ship.
That's hilarious.
He runs into her in the hallway.
There's no families on the ship, remember?
Oh my God.
Maybe she's an officer. She's married to somebody walking down the hall. Hey.
That is
when they go later to check up on Garrett, it's like he sees her as like one of the medical officers or something.
Now, what if she's like the transporter chief when they're kissing right before the beamback? Like, wait a minute.
Awkward.
She's like, I know you, and he goes, yeah, you look like my dead wife's mother, and then she's like, no, I am her. Not the mother, your supposed dead wife.
I was only 25 when you disappeared. What did you think was going to happen?
He's like, oh, you look really good. She's
it's like if you look at it's like if you look at it's like if you look at Jennifer Aniston at 25 and then 46 or whatever, it's like she looks exactly the same. It's like,
yeah, like this guy, they're all dead. No, they're not. Like, does he think? Does he think his whole family are like the grandparents from Willy Wonka? They're all living in one bed in some shack. Oh, if only he had disappeared 22 years ago.
Tasha, like, as he says that, she turns away from him and gets on her communicator. I'm working, click, I'm working with a moron over here. No wonder we're at war. These people can't even get to...
No wonder we're at war. 22 years ago, everybody was a freaking idiot.
She's like, what? She's like, I thought we weeded out all of the stupid, beautiful people years ago.
Oh my God! I love this tangent so much. the funniest thing. Oh my god.
Didn't the plague of 2020 wipe out all of this?
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
I really had to make it topical.
Oh my goodness.
I love that she tries to just reassure him. It's like, instead of just being like, "Are you stupid?" I would have asked him if he was stupid.
Yeah, well, when she tells him that, he's got the revelation that, wow, man, I may have people that are alive.
Right.
Like we just asked him to figure out the formation of a Kerr loop. You know what I mean? Like, this is 22 years, you idiot.
Oh my gosh, it's like he's the only child of an only child of an only child or something, so he doesn't have family around, so he's not sure about his parents.
And they all died the day they turned 50. Like, there's no one alive. That's it. They're all gone.
Castillo, did your parents protest the coronavirus today? Did your great-great-great-grandparents?
Well, they were anti-vaxxers, so I'm shocked I've lived this long.
Oh shit.
I can't. Oh my god. Okay, sorry.
Ooh, okay. So, she's all like, well, the future's not that great. Like, half of the Federation's been lost due to war with the Klingons. And he was talking about how there was supposed to be a peace treaty that was signed whenever they were going off on their, voyage or whatever. And then he's kind of like, hey, maybe you could fill me in sometime on the rest of it, kind of thing. And Tasha Yar continues to be my hero because she just ignores him. I mean, I've been in this situation. Sometimes there's somebody that you think, oh yeah, I think I could like them, and they might say stupid things, and you're just like, I'm going to ignore it. We're going to see if it gets worse. If it gets worse, then I'm gone, So I get it. She didn't egg him on. She was just like, work. And I appreciated that. So then we go back, and Picard and Data are talking about the rift. It is possible that Enterprise C could go back through the rift, but they would end up right where they came from, in between the firefight of all the Romulan ships. So they probably wouldn't make it. They'll probably, get destroyed or whatever, because it's 4 against 1. Picard doesn't really want to send them back because that's just like sending them to their death. So right now he's kind of opposed to Guinan's idea of sending them back.
Yeah, and I guess the only point of this scene was to say if they go back, they're going back exactly when they left.
Yeah.
And that's really the only point of this scene. So you to let us know, yeah, okay, if we send them back, they're not going to be now back whatever,
right.
a day and a half later, and
they're not going to be back, and then surprise, these characters are going to show up later.
Yeah.
Or like, even if they were to go back, let's say even 12 hours before they disappeared, they would know, hey, in 12 hours we're going to be in the middle of this Romulan thing. We could prepare for it. They don't even have that advantage. They'd basically be going back right at the moment they left. So yeah, almost no hope for winning that battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if they went back before, then they would still be there from before they left. So then they cross their own timelines. If they went back too late after, then the outpost would already be completely destroyed and wouldn't have shown that the Federation helped at all, and they'd still go into war.
Yeah, this is this time travel. This is like the Avengers Endgame type thing where whatever happened. Mm-hmm. Because that's how you can get Tasha, in the future, then she's captured and has a kid and that type of thing, because the past, you can't change the past. The past has happened. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That's the way I read it.
Yeah, I mean, although they do change the past, because it's very timey-wimey wibbly wobbly, right? For the Doctor Who reference here. Like, they send back a person who theoretically is already dead.
Right.
And then she still manages to have a kid who shouldn't even exist, really. It's very paradoxical, you know. It's very it's a paradox. So it's very Doctor Who. This episode has a lot more elements of Doctor Who than I realized.
Yes. But you know, it's like they were changing. It's weird because they, you know, like you said, they were changing the past, but it had already changed the future into this alternate timeline that they were in. So they were changing it back, but then it just got real convoluted after that. But that's fine. So we are somewhere on the ship in one of the hallways. Tasha is showing Richard around, and now I'm wishing I had called him Dickie or something, because that would have been more funny.
That's funny.
She's telling him that Enterprise D is the first Galaxy-class warship with 42 decks, and it can transport up to 6,000 troops. They go and visit Garrett in sickbay. She wants to leave and resume being captain of her ship. She's like, I gotta go back. We got things to do. We're gonna help you, whatever. You know, Dr. Crusher's kind of like, no, you need to, like, hang out here for 24 more hours, even though we're, like, super advanced, technically. And, you know, you can have, like, surgery to make you look like a Klingon or something, and then go right back and it looks like it never happened, but you still have to lay here for 24 hours.
Or they could both have whatever that hairstyle is, hair battles between both of them. They both have a similar thing. They could do like a hair off or something.
That's really why Beverly wanted her to stay, so that they could have
a hair battle.
Yeah, I like it. Garrett's not having any of this, and she leaves, even though Dr. Crusher objects.
That's what a captain would do, though. That's perfect writing.
Yeah.
100% a captain. You know, Kirk did it all the time. I don't have time for this Bones. You know, he did it all the time. Picard and everybody does it. So yeah.
So then we see Guinan entering Picard's ready room. He wants more information from her. She doesn't have it. She's sorry, I told you everything I know. And, you know, he says that he can't sacrifice all the people on the Enterprise C just because of her feelings or intuition or whatever. She says she can't explain, but she knows that she's right and that this is not the correct timeline. This is not the way things are supposed to be. And, you know, she says that 40 billion people have died in the war, and if they can send them back and it changes things back to the way it was, then all that wouldn't have happened, basically. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Oh, yes.
Did I say that right?
Perfect application of that logic. You sure did. Mm-hmm. You sure did. But it's true. Like, if you think about the immense scale or how much life has been lost in this war, 40 billion people lost in this war. I mean, that could have been avoided, sadly, because one ship with its 27 people crew, made a sacrifice.
More than that, because a lot of people, some of them were dead already.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. So it's more than just the 127. It's that plus whoever has already died. But it is the case of the needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few or the one. So I do love the scene between Picard and Guinan, where he's like, it's not good enough, damn it, it's not good enough. And she's like, how long have we known each other? Am I the type of person just to ask you to do something because of a whimsical thought? Like, you know, she's basically begging him to trust their years of friendship to act on this act on this recommendation to send this crew back to die. It's a great scene.